Hello friends, this is Rishi Gupta and today I'm here with a book review, and the book that I'm going to talk about today is Inferno by Dan Brown. So again, spoiler alert guys, I'm going to be talking about the book and plot and what I liked and what I disliked. So if you haven't read the book, probably the video is not for you. So guys, again, first things first, Dan Brown has again delivered a good book. It is an enjoyable watch. I've been talking about movies for so long. It was a great read. I really enjoyed the entire plot, and again, Dan Brown has this exceptional capability of combining art, history, and a contemporary question, something that is relevant, something that is very critical to the current times. So that is what he does exceptionally well. Before this, I had given a read to Origin as well, again by Dan Brown. So the kind of questions that he asks, the kind of plot that he has, it's not just about the mystery, it's just not about the story, it's about the questions that he is raising. In Origin, he was trying to answer the question, where do we come from and where are we going, right? So where did life come from, how did we evolve, and what happens after that? That was the kind of question that he was kind of pondering in Origin. In this particular book, again, I'm making this video on at a time when coronavirus has taken over the world and everything is in lockdown. So at this moment, the book is even more relevant. So again, in this particular book, what he's trying to put forth, the idea that he's trying to put forth is that the population of the world has increased to an extent that our extinction is very near, or something bad is going to happen pretty soon. So again, that's not an abstract concept. That's a concept that is well established, and that's being talked about even in the scientific circles, that the population growth is exponential, and the human life is not sustainable on Earth because the resources are limited, and humans are reproducing like anything. So the population is increasing exponentially. So something is going to happen, some event, something that probably eradicates humanity, or gives it a big blow. So this book talks a lot about the plague, and about a virus that might be released amongst the population, that might cause havoc. And the reason that this book hit me more than probably it should have is because of all the coronavirus things that's happening around all of us. So that's why this book was even more engrossing to me. So this concept about the population growth. So this is very Dan Brownish. It takes place mostly in Florence, and it talks a lot about Dante. So I personally am not a art aficionado. I am not very much invested in the artistry stuff, but I really found all of the concepts that even Dante has raised in his works very interesting. So I have not read anything. All I have is what the author has told me in this particular book about his art, about his concept of hell, and what's the journey from hell to paradise. So all of those concepts are really, really interesting. So at some obviously there are phases wherein you kind of get bored because you are not that much into art. So they will go in very much detail while explaining stuff, while going into the deeper meaning of each and every artifact or whatever the author or the character in the book is seeing. So sometimes you get lost because you are unable to probably imagine it that well as the author might have while writing it. So there are certain phases where you feel that, all right, probably I am unable to imagine what the author is saying, so probably that's my limited imagination, or maybe something else. But for the most part, you are with the author, you are with your favorite character, Robert Langdon, and the professor. Obviously, I personally love the character. I really, really like the way he thinks, the way he does things. So he's one of my favorite fiction characters out there. So Robert Langdon is a great character. Again, he goes through a journey where he has to decipher stuff, symbols, art, and all of that stuff to stop something that might be that might change the world. And towards the end, so again, there are a lot of twists, especially the last let's say 25% or even 20% of the book it really takes you by surprise. Even by Dan Brown standards, you kind of expect surprises, twists and turns, but even I was caught by surprise by the twists that he had introduced. So yeah, that was fun, that was good. So again, it is a typical Dan Brown book. You have a mystery, you have parallel plot lines, they meet at the end, and it's a lot of fun. There's a lot of information about art, about history. You get to learn a lot That is something that has been a feature of almost all Dan Brown books. Obviously, I think Da Vinci Code is the gold standard when it comes to Dan Brown, or any book that deals with mystery and art and history and information. Basically, you get to learn so much. So yeah, it was a great book. It ended well. It kind of made you think. It raised a lot of questions. So obviously the good kind of movies, TV series and books are the ones that keep you pondering, keep you thinking. That they raise certain questions and you have to answer them on your own. The questions are there, answers are for you to find. So that's the kind of book that this was. So I really liked the book. Obviously, it's not the best Dan Brown book. I'll definitely not say that. But yeah, it was a good read. I would recommend it. If you're a Dan Brown fan, if you're an art and history fan, this would be gold for you. So I would recommend that you read it as well. So guys, that's what my review for Inferno was. Do read it, it's a lot of fun. And if you like this video, please subscribe to my channel, please like the video, share it with your friends, and if you have any comments, leave it down below. Thank you so much.